The following segments are pre-recorded and sponsored by Longworth Productions.
Major funding for Triad Today comes from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, making healthcare better for all. Youth Advisory Council on Triad Today. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Longworth and welcome to another edition of Triad Today, coming to you once again from the Kernersville Auto Museum. We'll tell you more about the museum later on, and later on is when the roundtable shows up. We'll get into all sorts of controversy with those guys, so stay tuned for that. Where we want to start though is talking about human relations, a youth advisory council, and much more with two very special guests. On my far right, you've seen him all the time on the program, Pat Pate is City Manager, City of Winston-Salem. Pat's special guest sitting next to me, Erica Simon, Outreach Analyst for the HR Department. Good to see you.
Nice
Good to be here.
Pat, let me start with you. What does the Human Relations Department provide to residents of the city overall?
It's a very broad scope that we have, but it was established based on federal and state regulations, mainly to deal with fair housing originally. We also do a lot with non-discrimination. We do a lot with language access. So they're a broad-based group that's actually doing outreach into the community to make sure that all the people in our community have access to services and understand how to get access to those services.
Right, Erica, what is your role in terms of human relations?
So in human relations, my main role as an outreach analyst is to make sure the community knows about all of the services that are available to them.
Right.
I also work in a couple of other spaces. I work with our boards and commissions. I work with our Youth Advisory Council.
I want to ask you about that because you and Pat sent me an email about Youth Advisory Council. Now tell, what is that?
So our Youth Advisory Council is a council that's made up of high school students from across the county.
Okay.
These students are interested in civic engagement and youth advocacy. And so they are amazing students. They have taught me so much, and we have just done so many amazing things with them throughout the year.
Yeah, what are some of the projects or programs that come to mind that maybe they've worked on that you could share with us?
So every year they have a yearly project that they work on, and they decide that they've worked on things, subjects as far as youth violence, mental health issues. So every year they look and see what's going on around them and determine what their yearly project will be based on that.
And then they tackle that from there. Now, how are they, I know people are wondering when you're talking about this, how are they selected? I mean, because there are a lot of outstanding students to choose from. How do you select them? Does Pat select them? I mean, how does this happen?
So there is a recommendation process that they do have to go through. Anytime somebody reaches out to me, I just tell them, contact your guidance counselor, your director of services at your school. Let them know that you want to be a part of it. When the recommendation process happens, then we'll make sure you get in, and we will make sure you get selected. You've been doing this for how long? The youth council is how long? What, 2 or 3 years? So I've been working with the youth council for 3 years, but it's been around since the 80s.
I'm putting you on the spot, but what about feedback? Do you get a sense that it's making a difference, or what do you hear? Absolutely.
We have students, again, I talk about the students that have an interest in youth advocacy and civic engagement. So we have students that ultimately we would like for them, wherever they end up, if it's not Winston-Salem, although we would like for them to come back to Winston, but just go somewhere and be a part of the community wherever they are and make that a better place and be better residents, be better citizens. We have several students that have gone on in roles in politics as well.
Really? How about that? Pat, as we sort of wrap this up, I'm going to sort of spin off that same theme about feedback, because so many cities around the country are having trouble with youth violence and teen violence.
Right.
What can something like the Youth Advisory Council really make a difference for folks in this area?
Absolutely, it can, and that's a big part of why we want to highlight things like the Youth Advisory Council, because we are listening to the youth in our community, and we spend a lot of time and effort trying to gather input from them, not only from the folks that are a part of this, but they all have schools that they go to, high schools mostly, and they bring back feedback from all of the folks there to talk to us about, here are the things that would be helpful to have in our community for that age group and what would help them do the right things that they want to do. So it's having a very beneficial impact on our community.
I think that's great, and really important to overall quality of life to have that kind of line of communication with everybody. Up on screen, City of WS, of course, stands for Winston-Salem, cityofws.org. please check that out for all sorts of information. And to Pat and Erica, thanks so much for what both of you are doing throughout the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jim.
We'll be right back.
I am so
Why
frustrated.
can no one help me?
Waiting
This is
is
a
the
nightmare.
worst. Healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. That's why we're making healthcare better for all. Starting with you. Yes, you, Daryl. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting your benefits, prescriptions, and details all in one place. Convinced?
No. But it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross North Carolina. Making healthcare better for all. Starting with you.
You know, it's hard to believe the Safe Sober program has been going strong for over 30 years.
And over 600,000 students have made the pledge to stay safe and sober on prom night. You know, Griff, it's had a huge impact on our community.
Yeah, you're right, David. And now we're making sure the message continues year-round.
So everyone can join us in supporting our students.
Learn more and take the pledge at safesober.com, sponsored by Daggett Schuler.
Back now on Triad Today, and excited about meeting this special guest, first-time visitor to the show. Bobby Joe Smith is a lead accounting instructor at Alamance Community College, where President Ken Engel lords over the. No, he's a great guy. He
is.
Oh
We love
man,
him.
he's done great things over there. hasn't
He has.
Say hello to him when you get
I
home.
will.
Look, thanks for being here, and let's talk about what you're doing with accounting. What skills do you think are most critical for today's accounting students to master before they enter the workplace?
That's a very good question because it has changed. The landscape has changed in accounting because of the evolving things like AI and different other types of software. It is not only important to have the soft skills now, which is knowing how to send an email, talking to people, presentation skills, but it's also important to be able to take large amounts of data and be able to make sense of it and analyze that data and be able to explain that to people that don't have an accounting degree, that may just have a regular MBA or something and not that accounting knowledge. So it's very important.
And you've been at this, how long have you been doing this?
Teaching, probably for about 5 years. I've been in the field for 15.
So, I mean, are you saying that, I know what you're saying about the AI thing, overall, has curriculum sort of changed when it comes to accounting over the 5 years you've seen? I mean, in general?
It's starting to. It's starting to have to go that direction, simply because of all the emerging and disrupting technology.
Any new programs come to mind that you guys might be offering at Alamance Community College in this field?
Absolutely. Besides myself, which I'll talk about in a second, we have a data analytics program within business. We also have a new supply chain management program, which is starting in the fall. And then my program, which I developed, which is the forensic accounting and fraud examination.
What does that mean?
Two different things. Actually, you think they're the same, but they're not. Fraud examination is like a financial detective. They go in and they say, okay, there's already been a fraud. We're going to find out who did it, why they did it, which is usually an opportunity type of situation. Why they did it and how they did it. And we're going to show you the evidence so that you can do whatever you need to do to get them in court to prove that.
Fraud examination.
Fraud examination.
And then forensic accounting, and you were saying there's a difference.
Yes. Forensic accounting is the broader umbrella, which fraud examination is under. But forensic accounting is more of you actually have to have an accounting degree for that, which for the other you do not. And it is more for like messy divorces, asset tracing. Company A, company buying company B, they're not sure of the value.
Well, then is there a lot of, we didn't rehearse this or anything, but is there a lot of demand for these jobs and the things that you're starting at Alamance? Obviously, you wouldn't have started unless you thought so, but.
Yes. And not only does it, but the skills that you learn in these programs are transferable to just an average job, like the supply chain management. We live along the I-40-85 corridor here.
Right.
A lot of warehouses. Supply chain works with accounting. Supply chain works with the movement of those goods, whereas accounting, we're accounting for them along that way.
Absolutely.
And they work together.
What kind of advice would you give to prospective students who might be interested in this field of study? They're thinking about, they've heard about what you're doing, but what will you say to them?
I would say come to Alamance Community College because we can get you job ready in whatever you wish to do, in whatever area you want to go into. We can get you job ready with a certificate, an associate's degree, or a transfer to university. Alamance Community College is where it's at.
What got you interested in this field? I mean, is it something that when you were a little girl, you were good at doing an abacus or something, or what?
I indeed was, and my father was an accountant.
Really?
He was a financial controller for a coal company back in West Virginia, where I'm from, for a very long time.
How about that? Mm-hmm. Like father, like daughter.
Absolutely.
Well, that's great. I bet he's proud of. Is he still with us?
Yes, he is still with us. He is 76 years old, just turned 76, and he's still very spicy.
God, this is scary. I'm old enough for her to be my daughter. Let's don't get into that.
Well, my parents had me when they were 19. So,
my parents didn't want to have me. But anyway, up on screen, alamancecc.edu, alamancecc.edu. Please check that out. Bobby Joe's doing a lot of great things over there at Alamance Community College. Will you come back sometime?
I certainly will, anytime you want.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you that Triad Today also airs on GTN Spectrum Channel 13 and streams on WFMY Plus, free on Roku and Amazon Fire.
The world's brightest are Fulbrights, Goldwaters, McNairs, and Spartans. UNCG. Find your way here.
It's two good friends of the show who actually help to sponsor the roundtable each week. I'm talking about the Sutton brothers, Jim and Jack. Jim is immediately next to me, Jack on the outside, and we appreciate both of you being here and all you do for the community. Thanks for this.
Thank you.
Jim, let me start with you. More and more people have heard of Sutton brothers, but here's a little commercial thing we'll do. But you offer more than just air conditioning service, right? I mean, what do you offer?
Yes, we do. We also offer plumbing service as well as electrical service, and we offer that for both residential and commercial purposes.
Well, that's important too. Some companies split that up, and one will do one and one will do the other. Hey, Jack, before I forget, who's the oldest one of the two?
Well, I don't. I guess I have to admit that would be me.
Does that make you wiser than?
Absolutely.
All right, Jack. Serious question. Now, what led you to an interest in this field?
You know, that's that's an interesting question. I'd worked most of my career for Hanes Brands out of Winston-Salem. Jim had worked for Bank of America. Jim was looking for something to do on his own, and he invited me to join him. It was the right time for me, just the right moment in my life, and I can't tell you how glad I am that I made the decision to say yes.
That's great. That's great. I think that is. Jim, there are a lot of companies that, and I've gotten caught up in this, as all consumers have. You'll be summoned through the yellow pages, or you'll go on the internet looking for somebody to do work for you. And they say, well, we're locally owned and operated. And it turns out they're not. You know, they might come to an area, but they're not locally owned, they're not locally operated. Why is that important that Sutton Brothers does qualify for that?
Well, Jack and I are in the office all day, every day. Virtually every one of us is in the office 100% of the time, with few exceptions. So if there is a problem, or if there's anything that we need to take care of, a residential customer or a commercial customer knows that if they can't get the right answer they're looking for, they can always come to us and find out what's going on, as opposed to an entity that's outside of the state.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's really important to be able to get to the person at the top. Community involvement. Before we run out of time, I want to just praise you guys for all the things you do in the community and help. And specifically, Jim, now you do some work with and support Children's Hospital, is that right?
Right. My wife and I are going to be co-chairing the Brenner Children's Hospital benefit that occurs in November. And prior to that, Sutton Brothers had been a big sponsor of the Brenner Children's Hospital, as well as the Salvation Army, an outfit called the Do School, and many other local causes. We like to try to give back as much as we can to the community that supports us.
Right, and Jim mentioned Salvation Army. That's one that's sort of near and dear to your heart too, right?
It is. I've been on the board of the Salvation Army for many, many years. So we work with Boys and Girls Club there in Winston-Salem and the Center of Hope Family Shelter. So the Salvation Army is something where we truly have concerns and work for as hard as we can.
Service to the community, but you also, one thing that I think sometimes we overlook when we talk about companies, you can sort of give service to the employees too. They're part of the family, right?
Absolutely. We don't think of them so much as how many people work for us. We think of how many families work for us. We feel a great deal of responsibility to make sure that our employees are taken care of. And we try not to look at it so much as offering a job, but offering a career. So we have nice benefits for them.
Right.
It's the things that we had when we worked for larger companies that we so much appreciated. And we wanted to make sure that our employees had the same benefits that we were used to having.
Jack, did the two of you ever disagree on things?
You know, we really haven't disagreed on anything, to tell you the truth. I think we've worked well together.
Well, the day's young.
The day is young.
Could happen any moment. Up on screen, Sutton Brothers, and actually it was Sutton Bros, B-R-O-S is an abbreviation, Sutton Bros, BROS.com, or you can call 390-3902. There's several numbers you can call throughout the area. But, and we hope that they will not disagree about anything when they leave here. But I really congratulate you guys. Thanks again for the support that you give this program and your commitment to public service and community service. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
I got free meals. What do you mean? No, seriously, how much did you pay us? I didn't pay anything. I learned how to cook all of these fresh foods that were delivered to my house. Everything in that grocery bag that's fresh, I had a recipe for, and I know how to cook. It encouraged us to eat better, to shop better, make better decisions.
Back now on Triad Today for three very special guests, two that you see here all the time, and if you live around Clemens, another one who you see all the time as well. On my right, Griff Schuler, who was in an earlier segment with us. On the far right, David Daggett, of course, partners. And in the middle, there's special guest Mike Rogers, Mayor of the Village of Clemens. Good to see all you guys.
Good to see you. Thanks, Jim.
David, let me start with you. Tell me about the Smiley Triathlon Festival in Clemens. Who's it named for? What events are included?
So this is a big weekend. The Smiley Triathlon Festival includes the 23rd annual Kids for Kids Triathlon, which has been the #1 ranked youth triathlon in the United States, with the Smiley Sprint Triathlon, which is the adult race. Kids on Saturday, adults on Sunday, all of it in the Clemens West neighborhood.
Right.
Named after Richard Smiley, local athlete, health club owner, fitness advocate, and good person in the community. Passed away. It'll be 10 years this October.
Mike, what does all this mean for the Village of Clemens when you have race weekend?
It's an honor. It's a really big honor to have such a nationally acclaimed event in our community. I mean, in Clemens West in particular, the Recreation Association there is so honored to have Daggett and Schuler there. It's a Smiley Triathlon Festival is just a big draw for everyone.
Yeah, and Griff, there's so many things that need to be supported these days, and you and David involved in many of them. Why this particular one?
Well, to brag on David, he's put his heart and soul into these two events, and he has everything organized. From a firm perspective, we are the folks at the end. We're the folks at the finish line. Our Safe Sober Daggett Schuler team greets every participant as they cross the finish line. David calls out their names. We wrap our arms around them. It's a big event for our law firm to come out and support healthy living, and it's a huge weekend.
And you don't have to be you and David, of course, are known athletes. David more so than the rest of us, but you don't have to be a pro athlete to be a participant, right?
No, and the way it's set out, it's actually attractive for first-time participants, and David is a big proponent of that.
I want to put something on screen. Just normally do this at the very end, but Smiley Triathlon Festival Saturday. That's if you're watching Saturday, you can still get out there. That's the Kids for Kids Triathlon. If you're watching on Sunday, you can still get out to there to see some of the Smiley Sprint Triathlon. You can go to SmileyTriathlonFestival.com for more information, and also go to DaggettSchulerLaw.com or call 724-1234 if you need assistance there. David, sort of wrap up any final thoughts on what this means to everybody and why people should support it even if they're not in it.
Sure. Well, it supports a healthy fitness community, but more than that, we've created iconic events with the partnership with the Village of Clemens. Mayor Rogers has been very, very significant in helping us. The neighborhood of Clemens West has been just invaluable. Mr. Mayor, will you be the honorary starter for the kids race?
Yes.
All right,
How
we got
about that?
So,
Wow.
Yeah, we got that.
How about that? People who haven't been to Clemens lately, a lot going on out there, a lot of growth, right, Mike?
Yes, we've grown exponentially. People are coming every day, and we have new businesses. We're breaking ground today for another one, and it's 7 Brews Coffee, as a matter of fact. So it's coming in, and we're juggling all the time. We got so much activity coming to see us.
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion there's probably 2 Mike Rogers because I see him everywhere, and he's doing a great job for the village of Clemens.
Yeah, we have a couple seconds left, Mike. Why do you think people are attracted to live and work in Clemens?
We are well run. We have a wonderful council and staff, public works staff, and we take care of the community and our citizens.
Yeah.
And we have very good law enforcement through the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office. And we just opened up the Village Operations Center, which houses our Clemens Community Policing Department.
Right. This is a hard-working guy. He and I graduated Reynolds same year, 150 years ago. And
we went back for 100th celebration.
That's right. No, 5 seconds left. Mike, technically, David is such a great triathlete. He's a professional. Should not he be banned from this?
Well, I thought I would join this year and outdo him, but I decided I was told up I didn't want to take his thunder.
All right. Remember, it's today and tomorrow. If you're watching Saturday, the triathlon, please get out and support that. We'll be right back after this.
At Sutton Brothers, we're confident we can help you solve your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs.
So confident that we'll fix it or it's free. Our highly trained technicians will diagnose your problem and fix it with either a repair or replacement.
And if we can't fix it, you won't pay the trip fee.
So the next time you have a problem, call us.
We'll make sure you're completely satisfied.
Guaranteed.
Call Sutton Brothers today and be confident things will be done right. Schedule online at suttonbros.com.
Major funding for Triad Today comes from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, making health care better for all. The Roundtable is brought to you by Sutton Brothers, locally owned and operated and serving all of your HVAC, plumbing, and electrical needs. Right now, just about time for the Roundtable, but a quick shout out to the good folks here at the Kernersville Auto Museum. Come out, it's free on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays to see all these classic cars. You'll love it. And we have 3 classics with us right now, or as I like to say, my Triad Today legal team, Attorney Ogie Overman
yeah, right.
and David Daggett Griff were held over from an earlier segment. All right, guys, Congress has approved a bill that would make daylight savings time permanent. We've talked about this before. If the bill is enacted, the new law would actually allow some of the states to opt out. Here's my question. Would you like to see North Carolina adopt a year-round daylight savings time or opt out if that provision stands?
Opting, that's going to make it worse. That's a catastrophe.
Yeah.
Going from state to state, sitting you watch each time you cross state. That's dumb.
It is.
I wish we would get rid of daylight savings time. It's going to be too dark.
Yeah.
If we keep it year round.
Griff?
The opt-out bothers me. I'm with Ogie on that because if each state starts doing it, then it seems like it's confusion.
Yeah, I got to drive up to Richmond for a meeting. Hey, I'm late.
Yeah.
All right, David.
I think the states will get together and collude a little bit to make sure that we don't hit that problem.
Right.
I tend to be at the other end of the spectrum. I think we should standardize standard time, not daylight savings time. Very, very problematic for school kids. It's going to be problematic for parents.
Right.
I think it's going to cause a lot of problems.
Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth has ordered that all troops over the age of 30 undergo testosterone screening. He says he wants all troops to have the, quote, right testosterone levels to operate at their best, unquote. Good idea, bad idea, Ogie?
There's something wrong with that guy. No wonder Trump likes him so much. He's as delusional as he is.
Griff, what do you think?
There always seems to be an agenda that comes out when these things are done. And unfortunately, the agenda then takes away what we ought to be focusing on is the medical part of things.
Right.
And I mean, I'm okay with this if from a medical standpoint, it's advisory to do the testing and if the person needs the testosterone. But
yeah, David.
I'm speechless. I'm totally against it. There is no medical purpose. If there was a medical purpose, maybe for a few, but for the wide swath of people,
Right.
there's not a medical purpose.
All
This
right.
is an agenda item.
Last week, legislators in Raleigh passed a new law that requires skiers at all North Carolina slopes to be aware of the, quote, inherent risk associated with snow skiing. Under the new law, ski operators will have less liability for injuries and damage to property. Now, it also means that if you leave the scene of a skiing accident, you can be fined and go to jail. You okay with this new law, Ogie?
I'm not okay with the last part of it. I don't like that. What if you need to go get help? If somebody's hurt, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You go get help.
Griff, what do you think?
Looking at this law and how it went through the process and it was enacted, it looks like it is positive in the sense that it is going to increase safety for skiers. The one part of it that bothers me is I hope the law is not going to be interpreted to create some type of general overall immunity to the folks that are the operators.
Right, David.
I think a lot of this is semantics. The law has always been that the consumer is responsible for an inherent danger. That this is a smokescreen is what it is, and to appease a lobbying group.
Gotcha.
At the end, I agree 100% with Ogie. There should not be a mandatory requirement with criminal punishment because you don't know where the person's going or what they're doing.
All right, an Oregon minister was offended when recently he and his family went to the movies, and before the film started, they'll have cartoons or whatever, but this political commentary commercial came up for the War Department that played on the big screen. This minister wants movie theaters to ban propaganda announcements. Would you agree with that kind of a ban, Ogie?
I do, 100%. You go to movies to escape. You don't want to go to see Trump propaganda when you're trying to see an escapist
Or any
movie.
propaganda.
Really?
Griff.
This particular one, I think it was 90 seconds,
Yeah.
and you had to sit there in this. I mean, and it seems like again there's an agenda for why this is being done, and you shouldn't have to be required to sit through that just to hear somebody else's agenda.
Yeah, David, you pay your money, you and your family go in to see the movie, and then there's a political announcement.
This one I'm torn on. And the reason is I'm a fierce believer in free speech from anybody. So, if you don't like pizza, should they ban pizza ads in there? Where are we going to go with this? However, I also think we have a slippery slope when the government starts putting, quote, propaganda wherever they want to, no matter who's in charge.
All right, finally, a recent study says by age 80, our brain has shrunk by at least 20%. Other studies say we lose brain cells every day. Guys, have you lost any brain cells yet, Ogie?
Well, I've been, you know my past. Yeah. The answer is yes.
Griff.
No comment.
David.
Can I say I forgot?
That's right. Well, we know, again, our legal team is here. 2 guys that know the law, 1 guy that's broken it. All right, that's all the time we have. Oh, except for this. Last week, the play-by-play announcer for the San Antonio Spurs was fired. Why? Because he was having an affair with a girlfriend of one of the players. In basketball, it's what we call a scoring foul. All right, for all of us, did that make any sense to you?
Yeah,
For all of us here on Triad Today, I'm Jim Longworth. We'll see you next week.